He's texting, managing attention, communicating respect non-verbally, finding friendly eyes, have a front and a center, say your name, feel the love, say your speech.
Hi, my name's Nina.
Hi, Nina.
Mother Teresa once said, "We shall never know all the good a simple smile can do." Isn't it strange to think that just a simple curve of our mouths can communicate happiness and inspire happiness in others? That's why today I want to persuade you all to smile more. I will give you 2 reasons to smile more and 3 actions you can take and benefits that will follow if you adopt my proposal. Smiling is one of the most human acts in the world, and it can make you feel better. And it's not selfish because it can also make other people feel better. If we have the ability to spread happiness, why not act on it? The first reason that you should smile more is because of how much it can mean to someone and change his or her day. A lot of my support for my statements are going to come from my experience in the hospital, because that's where I really learned the true value of smiling. Other support comes from a 2011 article written by Carl Zimmer that states that a happy smile is accompanied by activity in the brain that stimulates the reward circuits, and just looking at a happy smile can excite these same circuits. So it's essentially saying that seeing a happy smile makes you feel like you're smiling or have something to be happy about. I saw this when I was in the hospital, and I'm sure all of you have, and that was when I was in the waiting room at oncology, and I was surrounded by exhausted and tired kids, and there was one girl in particular who looked solemn, and I asked her if she was all right. And she immediately perked up and gave like this huge smile, and the whole room seemed to brighten up, and my own heart started beating faster. She then told me that today was her last day of treatment, and continued to lay back down, and the whole room was left smiling. Other parents and patients were smiling, and it just increased the mood to like such a happier state. And for the rest of the day, I tread lighter, knowing as I got ready for my 10th to last treatment that someday I would have my last one too, and she'd really changed the day around, probably unbeknownst to her. The second reason I want you all to smile more is because of how much it can be positive therapy for yourselves. And my support for this comes from a 1989 article from the New York Times, which does seem outdated, but it's a theory that was developed by Charles Darwin and William James, so I think it's still applicable. And that is, facial expression is more than just a signal of emotion, but it actually contributes to the emotion as well. So that's basically saying that smiling makes you feel happy just as much as it communicates happiness. And my example for this comes also from being sick, and I always thought that I was smiling for the people around me, to let them know that I was okay, especially my parents, or for the nurses who had to deal with kids that were much younger than me and didn't understand that they had to be poked with needles and filled with chemo in order to make them feel better. But I tried to smile I ended up smiling not only to make those people feel better and dread me less because I looked less miserable, but I was actually smiling for myself to make myself less miserable and enjoy my own company. I really think that this helped make my treatments go a little easier, as I would have things to look forward to or find the little things that made you feel happy. So now I'll offer 3 actions you can take in order to smile more, which should seem simple enough, but these are just additional times to smile. And the first one is to do things that make you smile, like if that's hanging out with friends, if that's seeing family or watching a silly YouTube video or your favorite goofy TV show or movie. There's nothing better for you than a truly genuine smile. And the second thing to do is to smile when you were just walking around at other people, or even at your roommate or on Bruin Walk, just every now and then, because you can just do small things to make someone feel better that's around you. The third action you can take is to smile even in a situation that wouldn't normally elicit a smile. if you find yourself in a situation that you can't change, instead of wallowing, why not find something that makes you happy and smile? It'll make you feel better, and probably those around you who care about your happiness. If you follow these actions, you'll find that benefits of follow include you feel better about yourself, and people see you in a more positive light because you're smiling more often. And third, you spread happiness. All right. In summary, I have shown you 2 reasons that you should smile, or 2 reasons you should smile more, and 3 actions and benefits that will follow if you do this. Mother Teresa did a lot more in her life than make people smile, but it's the simplicity of her message that should inspire us all to spread happiness. Thank you.
Thank you. So I got 5:14. I didn't start the time. That's what you did. Okay, you may sit down. Thank you for respectfully waiting at the door. Let's start in the front row today.
My name's Blake.
Hi, Blake.
That was a really good speech. I think every time you give a speech, it's really emotional. It was really heartfelt. So I think that everyone really connects with you. So it was good.
Ruma.
Hi, I'm Thomas.
Hi, Thomas.
I think if I had to give improvement, I would say maybe not to like fidget. I guess a little bit less. Like sometimes you cross your leg and then bring it back over, but otherwise it was a good speech.
Yeah. Were you aware you were doing that?
Yeah. I tried to take everything off that I could fidget with.
Yeah. Okay. You know, I liked your speech. You were under the time limit, so that was good. You started with Mother Teresa and offered a simple, persuasive message, and so that was good. Your first reason you quoted Carl Zimmer in 2011 but failed to say the New York Times, and that's a big credible newspaper, so I would have said that. I think that it's right that it does excite those circuits and excites us all as well. I liked your story of the little girl that was her last treatment and it lit up the room, and that was a very good story and good storytelling, and so you made your point clear with that story. Your second story, again from the New York Times article suggesting Darwin and William James, yeah, they're pretty relevant scholars, was a good quote. And I think that that smile being contagious is truly, a truism, I think. On your concrete actions, I think that you were consistent with your persuasive speech, and there were things your audience could do, so that was good. You got out of the power stance occasionally. I guess you know that, so work on that. Do some Tai Chi or something so you're aware of what your body's doing when you're speaking. Your goals were to avoid distracting mannerisms, make an emotional connection with your audience, and don't get thrown off if I forget something. Have better recoveries. How'd it go?
Okay, well, I obviously did distracting mannerisms. I like last time when I gave a speech, I got really thrown off when I paused, so I hopefully didn't do that as much. I did say, what was that earlier?
Don't get thrown off, better recoveries aren't mistakes, more emotional connections, avoid distracting manners. And yeah, I think you did a better job. You improved. You can email me your sources. That's fine. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, we're on the A's, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, that will bring us to Rachel Fishman. You set the clock this time. She's sleeping. Okay, managing attention, communicating respect, finding friendly eyes near the front and the center, say your name, feel the love, start your speech.
Hi, I'm Rachel Leah.
Hi, Rachel Leah.
So we all have those nights when we wish we had a super ability power, like flying, to make us do the physically impossible, right? Like those nights when we have a sticky note final that's 20 pages, and a speech right now, we forgot the bibliography, and we're missing 2 sections of our sticky note book, business and education, right? And we're thinking, oh my God, it's 12 p.m., how am I going to get through this? All my friends are asleep, I'm stuck by myself. And then you think to yourself, the answer is in this little bottle right here. You look at it, you go, this 5-hour energy is definitely going to give me those 5 hours. And you know that Red Bull's definitely going to give me that extra set of wings I need. Hey, I'll even get an hour or 2 of sleep and I'll be perfect for my next test tomorrow. Well, those angel wings that seem so innocent aren't really that innocent, and they're leading you into a dark, desolate cave. According to Frontiers in Psychology in May 2014, there was a study done that shows that in our age group, our frontal cortex is in its last stages of development, meaning that these obscene amounts of caffeine are actually really negatively impacting our bodies in more ways than we could possibly imagine. So that's why today I'm going to give you 2 reasons and 3 actions and some benefits that will happen if you adopt my proposal to stop drinking energy drinks. Now I know that this will apply to all of you guys because it's been reported by Nutritional Reviews in May 2014 that over 57% of college students have reported to the normal, regular use of energy drinks. And I'm sure that all of you guys have had one of these Red Bulls, Monsters, 5-hour energies at some point in your life. Now the first reason that I think you guys should stop drinking energy drinks is that they don't even work. According to another Nutritional Review study in October 2014, it was studied that there's actually no correlation between energy drinks and performing better, being more alert, having more energy, being awake. Although it's been proven that some doses of caffeine can help your neuro function, it actually hasn't been proven by these energy drinks. And what's so sad is that they're deceiving us based on their gimmicks and their false advertising. Now, Health and Fitness in 2012 did a study that basically just analyzed the packaging of these 5-hour energies and found that there was no evidence at all that concluded that these drinks actually make you focus, have more energy, and be more alert. And the first thing they did is they went on the homepage of the website. They found that there was a little asterisk that said that, which is also right on the back of the bottle, that individual results may vary, meaning that if you're not more alert, you're not awake, and it's not working, they're not responsible. The other thing that they studied was on the back of this bottle. It also reads, "This statement has not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product does not diagnose, treat, cure, anything." So basically what the bottle's doing is it's having all of these little advertising gimmicks to save their butts when this thing doesn't work and you don't have more energy, you get no sleep, and you feel awful the next day. Now the next reason I think that everyone here should stop drinking energy drinks is that they're really bad for your body. According to Nutritional Reviews, it's been proven that the constant usage of these energy drinks has been causing to have not being able to sleep, nervousness, dizziness, headaches, stomach and gastrointestinal problems. And these are also all on the back of this bottle. It says right here that by consuming this beverage, you will have nervousness, sleepiness, occasional rapid heartbeat. Well, I guess that's fine, like, that's okay. You'll have a niacin rush and you'll feel some hot flashes that might last a few minutes, but like you'll be okay, right? Because you get 5 hours. And it might have some blood flow that's going to be near your skin and you might feel really hot. Just by reading the bottle, you can see how bad this is for you. And again, 5-hour energy puts this on the bottle to prevent themselves. And it's really funny because I've actually seen this effect, this terrible effect of 5-hour energies when I decided during finals week, last winter quarter, that I was actually going to take them myself. So at first I had 1 and I didn't really see the effects. And then I built up a tolerance and I had 2 or 3. And one early Wednesday morning, I woke up in my dorm bed crying in pain. It felt like my stomach was being ripped out of itself and everything was just tumbling around. And basically what had happened was the excessive chemical and caffeine dosages that I'd been ingesting had caused a stomach ulcer into my stomach because I'd been drinking these on an empty stomach. I was staying up all night and having that terrible pain and being so upset and not actually being able to do work for the next few days, which ruined the entire point, made me so passionate and want to share with you guys the terrible, terrible effects of drinking these energy drinks. So now I'm going to give you 3 actions you can take so that you can be on your own road to stop drinking energy drinks as a quick fix. The first thing is read labels. If you just looked at the label of that 5-hour energy or the monster you're about to ingest, you could see how horrible it is for you. If you can't pronounce the chemical names, such as taurine, glucoloc, I can't even pronounce them myself, they probably were made in a chemical lab and they shouldn't be put into your body. The second thing is you can find alternative methods. You don't have to resort to these energy drinks as a last resort. Just getting more sleep, drinking lots of water, regularly exercising, or as concluded in WebMD by Sarah Mennick, who is a PhD, just a 20-minute power nap can increase your alertness, your energy, and your ability to study just as one of these energy drinks would. Now the third thing that I'd like to propose is that find alternative ways of studying. Find ways that increase your own alertness. For me, I like to listen to my headphones and listen to this white noise. It's called celestial white noise. It's really weird, but for me it works. I also like to go to really cool study spots around Los Angeles, like Bricks and Scones, which is in Larchmont, Pier 212 in Venice. I don't study well in the library, and I know that now, so that when it's midnight, the night before a paper, I know exactly how to study, so I don't need to resort to one of these. So some benefits that you'll have when you have stopped drinking energy drinks is you'll actually have more energy. Who would have thought? You'll be getting more sleep at night. You'll be well rested the next day. You won't have those horrible, terrible crashes where your whole body feels like it's jittery and you don't know what's going on. And your body will thank you for it, and your friends will too, because you won't be a grumpy mess who's always asking their friends, hey, do you have a 5-hour energy? I just need one of these to get me through the night. So next time you have that big test, a speech, a paper, and you know you can't finish it all, start early. Take preventative measures. Drink water, exercise, take power naps, and don't resort to Red Bull and 5-hour energy. Your body can and will thank you later. Your own wings can take you far above and beyond those energy drinks, 5-hour energy, Monster, and Red Bull. Thank you.
654.
Rachel, Leah, your speech was great. You were super credible.
Say your name first.
Olivia.
Hi, Olivia.
You were super credible. You used tons of sources, and I liked how you also threw in at the end your own story, which made it like everyone like perked up and was listening even more. So I thought you did a great job.
Yeah, it helps to complement statistics with your own experience. Yes, please.
Hi, I'm Eunice.
Hi, Eunice.
I really liked your voice. You have a very powerful voice that emanates throughout the room. But I guess like one criticism, I guess, just some improvement you could do is just like when you looking around the room, you tend to look at the ceiling more than like the faces, so maybe direct that contact.
Okay, that's a good suggestion. I do like your voice. You did fill the room. You do have a lot of natural energy. I hope it's natural. Rachel.
I had 5-hour energy before.
Rachel and Leah, let's talk about your speech. Well, you started off with this evil 5-hour energy drink, and I hope everyone knows how bad it is by now, but apparently from sales they're still flying off the shelves, so maybe not. Maybe there's a need for your speech still. So, and 57% of college students are still using it, so yeah, you've got significance. On your first reason, your nutritional review from October 14 was powerful evidence, and your nutritional review was good evidence as well. On your second reason, bad for the body, headaches, and all those other problems, that was good evidence and strong. I like the story of your ulcer. I hope it has gone away or been cured or whatever. But that was very compelling, and I know I've heard of those things happening, so that was good. Yeah, I think the other thing that I would have thought was You should, your solution, get more sleep. Yeah, right. I think it takes some more self-discipline, not procrastinating on your assignments, starting them earlier, and things like that, rather than getting more sleep to make this really happen. I like your idea of the white music and that sort of thing was good. Your benefits were real nice. And your tie back was excellent. So you did a real good job. Your goals were to be unexpected, use a visual aid, and to vary the pace and intonation. How'd it go?
I think it went well. I tried to be more unexpected because that was what you had been
my
asking.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I thought, because I was doing the sticky note assignment while preparing the speech, and I was like, no one had used a visual before, and I tried one out by actually using the 5-hour energy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think I could still work on, I'm good at holding a right time, but maybe preparing better places to like really slow it down. But
Okay.
yeah.
And one thing I want everyone to notice is she pulled it out and then she put it away. It wasn't a constant distraction. See the bottle, and that's the problem with visual aids. When you pass them around, you got people reading the labels and doing crazy things with them. So that was good. But keep up the level of your voice and your energy. That was much more effective this time than it was before. So don't lose that. You did a nice job. Thank you. Okay, that will bring us to Arazu, also known as South Campus.
So creative with her nicknames.
Yeah, good for nickname, huh? Okay. Okay, she's texting, managing attention, communicating respect, finding friendly eyes, never front and center. Say your name, feel the love, start your speech.
Hi everyone, I'm Arazu.
Hi, Arazu.
I want you all to take out your cell phones.
Thank you.
That's right, take them out. Bring them out, everyone. Bring out your cell phones. And if you have an app like Yik Yak or Twitter, open it. Go on that app right now. But if you're experiencing the lagginess, which is this lovely room and roll, I'll tell you what you would see on preferably Yik Yak. So you'll see an archetype of 4 different types of yaks. The first will be about people studying in finals, how miserable they are in PAL. The second archetype of yaks you'll see is something about squirrels, because everyone has an obsession with these furry creatures. The third type of archetype on Yik Yak will be yaks about wanting to go home and see their pets, not their families, priorities. And what are the fourth archetype of yaks you'll see on Yik Yak? I'll tell you what they are. Relationships, hooking up, lust for love. Everyone wants someone to call their bae at the school, apparently. And according to Yik Yak, it looks like it's not getting done fast enough. So, according to Built-In, and the New York Times 2014 of October, the online dating application Tinder had 1 billion swipes per day and 12 million matches. So I know you're thinking, wow, 12 million matches? Let me go download Tinder right now. Wrong. 12 million matches may be the size of the population of Moscow, Russia, but 12 million out of 1 billion is a 1.2% success rate. You're better off running into PAL right now during finals week asking if someone wants to date you. So today, I want to persuade you all to stop relying on online dating applications and websites to find the love of your life. Because guess what? It's not working as well as they want you to believe. I'm going to present to you 2 reasons why you should stop and 3 alternatives you can take. I know you're all interested in the subject because according to a study done by Danse, in 2012 is that college students in relationships were less likely to experience health problems, mental health issues, and risky behaviors. So other than wanting someone to cuddle with on these cold LA nights, you might be wanting to find someone for these other great benefits. So the first reason why you should stop utilizing online dating applications like Tinder is that these applications cause people to participate in a large amount of deception. Deception? What's deception, Arzu? According to a study done by Danse in 2012, it's an antisocial behavior that results in the lack of accountability that online dating causes. So, next time when you're on an online dating application and you see that guy's photo from when he still went to the gym a year ago, or that girl who told you she was 21 and it turns out she's only 16, or maybe that guy or girl you thought was really cute and it turned out is your roommate's messing with you, these aren't just scenarios. This can be your reality, thanks to the anonymity of these applications. So I know you're all thinking, well, I know tons of people who've met each other on Tinder. I do too. So I'm a resident assistant, and one of my residents, Sam, has been on dates with 10 different guys in the last 2 months thanks to Tinder. So she sounds like she could be a success story for Tinder, right? No. So this girl, she actually really is interested in this guy that she sees in person every day, but is using Tinder to get free coffee dates, free food, you know, deceiving all these guys into thinking that she wants something serious when she's really just, you know, spending time. Anyways, the second reason why you should stop using online dating applications is that they require heavy technology usage. So one type of relationship that requires lots of technology usage is long-distance relationships. I think everyone here has met someone who's in a long-distance relationship. And I will let you know that it seems like they're more in a relationship with their phone or their computer than another person. So according to another study done by Doberg, is that in 2012, is that technology usage in relationships results in a false sense of idealistic views in relationships because often these couples avoid serious conversations because they don't want to have them over text message or Skype. So a good example is my floor mate freshman year, Jacob, was in a long-distance relationship with his girlfriend from Harvard. And of course, we all thought he couldn't break up with her because she was from Harvard, she was a trust fund baby, like, he had it made. But this girl would constantly texting him nonstop, always wanted him on Skype. He was burdened by having to be expected to always answer his phone, no matter what he was doing. So, you should stop using online dating applications because of these 2 reasons. So now you're wondering, Arzu, I uninstalled Tinder. What can I do? Cool. Here's the first thing you can do. You can walk out the door and go meet people in the real world. Where do you start? In your classes, in your club meetings, maybe even in Ackerman. The world is your oyster. There's 40,000 people at UCLA. There's got to be one person that you don't think completely sucks. And in that case, you're the entire city of LA if UCLA fails you. The second thing I want you to do instead is that I want you to stop falling for the hookup trap. Cooper Berg in 2014 stated that 60 to 80% of college students admitted to hooking up. You can't find a relationship if you're constantly hooking up. And the third thing I want you to do is to love yourself. Because if you don't love yourself, how do you expect somebody else to? And all of these actions will make you feel released from the stress of looking at your phone, waiting for a text message, waiting for the next Tinder match, or checking to see if somebody liked your Facebook profile picture. So all in all, today I hope I persuaded you all to stop relying on online dating applications like Tinder and closing your eHarmony, OkCupid, and Match.com accounts. Because I have stated that there are so many reasons why you should step out into the real world instead of the virtual world that you've been hiding under. So next time you're thinking about those 12 million matches, the 12 million people in Moscow who found the love of their lives on Tinder, think about 3 times the population of Delhi, New Delhi, India, who just got rejected off Tinder. And also, when your grandchildren ask you decades later how you met your significant other, do you really want it to be, I swiped right? I don't think so. Thank you.
Thank you for waiting respectfully outside, 7:22.
Hi, I'm Nina.
Hi, Nina.
That was a really, really good speech. Like, very entertaining and funny and unexpected. And, yeah, like, you had, like, all of us really entertained and, like, laughing out loud. And you got your point across, too. So, like, well done.
Hi, I'm Tess.
Hi, Tess.
This one's really hard. You were really funny, and your personality definitely came through. I really liked when you were like, "Yeah, let's ask ours." That was really funny. For criticism, the only thing I noticed was one time, like, you were unsure of the person you were citing, so maybe just be like, "Oh, I know this person's name," and just pretend instead of, I don't know. That's all I got. But it was really good.
Yeah, that referring to yourself was cute and funny. That worked. You chose a topic that was relevant to your classmates, so that worked well. And you had good statistics to back up how many people are using these sites, and so that was impressive. You'd done your homework. I would have liked a little bit more of a source qualification rather than Dancy in 12. Who is this?
It was a master thesis done at the University of Missouri.
So tell us that.
Okay.
According to a master's thesis by Ted Dancy or whatever it is. That would have been good. Same with the other one. The personal story of a friend that's dating 10 guys, but she really likes the other one. That was interesting. Interesting story. The second reason about the Harvard blue blood, that's blah, 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 you know. Yeah. And your suggestions, I think, for what people can do as an alternative were excellent. And your performance for their benefits were excellent. So, and your tie back was good. You said use no more distracting hand gestures and have a fluid speech. How'd it go?
I think it went well. I don't know, so it's 22 overtime? Or
What?
like 7:22, is that overtime?
That's overtime.
Yeah.
That's,
This is the one speech I was actually hitting time, so I was always really under time.
yeah.
Unfortunate.
But it wasn't significantly overtime, just a few seconds. So, but you did a nice job. Thank you. Okay, that'll bring us to Joshua. Joshua, that chair is in the picture.
Oh wait, real quick, does anybody need this roll?
Can you get that chair out of there? Yeah, put it over there. Yeah, that's better. Okay, stand before you, managing attention. Communicating respect. Finding friendly eyes near the front and the center. Say your name. Feel the love.
I'm Josh.
That your speech. Hi, Josh.
So about a couple years ago, I had went to a shooting range, and let me tell you, it was probably the most intimidating experience of my life. I was shooting a Beretta 92FS, which is a pistol, by the way, and I was so careful with this thing, knowing how deadly it can be. And I couldn't imagine owning a weapon like this, but it dawned on me that we actually most of us do own a weapon much deadlier than this. It's actually killed more people than guns. It's in our garages. It's actually our cars. And most of us don't think of our cars as weapons, but the truth is we should, and we should treat them just as carefully. Most of us have started to take our safety on the road for granted. You know, we text speed, and then one day we just might miss that stop sign and accidentally hit somebody. And we wouldn't be that irresponsible with a gun, would we? So why would we do this with a car? And so today I implore you guys to always drive safe, because your car can turn into a weapon just like that. And I know this will apply to you guys because all of us have or will drive at some point in our lives. So today I'd like to present you 2 reasons and 3 actions of why we should drive safe. The first reason is the fact that we not only endanger ourselves, but we endanger everyone around us when we drive recklessly. And this comes from a personal story of mine. We were just driving back from the USC game, which we totally wrecked, by the way. Amen. But anyway, so I was the designated driver because all my friends were just absolutely wasted, drunk, and I was the responsible one. But unfortunately, I wasn't that responsible, apparently. And I wanted to get home as quickly as possible, avoid all the traffic. And so I was actually tailgating a lot. And on the traffic, on the freeway, hard traffic hit, and this car stopped in front of me. I had no time to brake. And I slammed the brakes as hard as I could, but it wasn't enough. And I eventually just hit the guy in the back. And luckily, no one was injured, and just minor damage to the car happened. But at the same time, it was probably the stupidest thing I could have ever done. Stupider than saying 2 + 2 = fish. I don't know, but anyway, like I endangered 8 lives that day. Not 4 lives in my car, and the 4 lives that were in the car in front of us, and all for what? For 10 minutes of my time. That is, to do the math, folks. It's not worth it. And so today, I'd just like to tell you to just drive safe because you endanger everyone else on the road if you don't. The second reason comes from statistics, and this is the simple fact that so many people die every year from traffic accidents. And in a Centers for Disease Control and Prevention study in 2011, they found that 33,000 were killed in traffic accidents. And this is equivalent to the UCLA population, to just put that in perspective for you guys. And in comparison to the amount of gun deaths in the same study, which was 32,000. And car deaths are just as deadly as gun deaths, so we got to treat cars and driving just as carefully. And the saddest part is that most of these car deaths are preventable. They're caused by preventable factors. In another study done by Catherine McDonald in 2014, she found that most accidents were caused by preventable factors such as cell phone usage, peer passenger distractions, and sleep deprivation. And so all these, we got to learn to stop doing these bad habits, learn to adopt safe driving, and we can reduce the amount of these unnecessary deaths caused by preventable accidents. Now I'd like to present to you guys 3 actions of how we can drive safer. The first action is that we just have to remember that every time we drive recklessly, we endanger lives. Give yourself that second thought before you do something stupid, like looking at your phone while driving. The second reason, or the second action, is to go to the DMV website. There they have a bunch of resources, techniques in driving safe, and just basic traffic laws that you guys should obey. And the third action you guys can take is to just put away anything that's distracting away from you while you're driving, like your cell phone, radio, food, if you eat while you drive, which don't do. And just do that, and you will drive safer, I guarantee you. And when you do all these actions, I guarantee you guys will feel rewarded because you guys are being responsible and setting an example for other drivers, and in addition, just saving potential lives. In summary, I've given you 2 reasons and 3 actions of why you should drive safe and the benefits that it can bring. And there should be no doubt in this room that you guys should always drive safe. Because if we don't, then we're going to endanger so many lives. We not only benefit ourselves, but everyone else will benefit from your safe driving. And like I said before, we may not see our car as a weapon, but it's about time we drive as carefully as if it was. Thank you.
458.
Hi, I'm Angelica.
Hi, Angelica.
I thought your speech was pretty, really informative. I knew that cars were more dangerous than guns, but I didn't, really make that connection. I mean, you can know something without really, realizing it. And I really like the way, when you're giving your speech, you just sound like you totally believe in what you're saying. There's, no hesitation or no doubt. You, say it. Yeah. Not like what I said.
Yeah, I really like your speech.
Start with your name.
Oh, hi, I'm Nicole.
Hi, Nicole.
Yeah, so I really like your speech, but I think for improvement, maybe just make sure you're standing in the power stance so it really kind of conveys confidence and stuff. But other than that, you did really well.
Yeah, let's stay with the power stance. You started with a Beretta 92 FS. And you ended with the car being the weapon. And I was waiting for that Beretta 92 FS to come out of a car or something. But still, you tied back to the concept of the car being the weapon, which was sort of your point. And after all, it wasn't about guns, but that was a very vivid part of your introduction. Yes, your first story was very compelling. Drinking, driving, texting, tailgating, those are all things that will get you in trouble. That did get you in trouble. And I appreciate you having the courage to tell us, of your stupidity, and so you'll pay for it now. Your second reason was with your statistics, and now they were compelling, and they weren't just using cell phones, but poor sleep patterns, and there's people driving while tired. They're like driving drunk. So that was good too. On your benefits, I like the way you stressed those. Those were well done. You said go at a slower pace. You only used 458, so you could have gone even slower. Move 3 times with each paragraph and have better vocal variety. How'd it go?
Moving, I'm pretty sure I was a statue. I just forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, pace, I thought I went slower, but apparently in my mind I thought I did, but apparently time I didn't.
It could be even slower. And the vocal variety was a little better. I think that if you practice moving in practice with a live person, not a mirror, you'll know to do it when you're here. You did a nice job. You got it done. Thank you. Okay, that brings us to Tiffany. Hey, Tiffany. How you doing? Great. Okay, he's doing something over there. Okay, managing attention, communicating respect, finding friendly attitude in the front and center, saying name for the love.
Hi, I'm Tiffany.
Hi, Tiffany.
I want you guys to rewind to this morning. You can close your eyes if you need to, but just relive the first 30 seconds of your day. And I want you guys to think about how you felt,
kind of like the emotions you were going through and like adjectives to describe that experience. Yeah, I don't see a lot of smiles. So it probably had to do with the blaring alarm, being really upset that you had to get up and go to class, and just starting your day off in kind of a negative way. And while nobody really has a good relationship with their alarm clock, and if you like heard it, and I don't know, if you hear someone else who has the same alarm as you and you kind of just like hear it randomly, you're just upset, you know, like no one has a good relationship with their alarm, but no one's willing to give it up. And so today I want to persuade you guys to ditch the alarm clock. Even though we hear all the time, you know, go to sleep earlier, you need to sleep more, get some more rest, and we kind of just filter it out by this point because we're like, we have our kind of like late night schedule set up and we kind of know what we're doing. I think this is significant to us because this isn't about just forcing yourself to go to sleep for one night. This is about really finding out what sleep schedule works for you and finding out what's the most efficient way to sleep and get up naturally. So it's really going to be a lifestyle change. And no matter what it is you want to focus on during the day, whether that's getting better grades or just being a more mindful person or getting better at piano, like literally anything that you want to do, if you have a full night's sleep and you're getting up naturally and you're like ready to take on your day, you're going to do everything better. And so the first reason that I think we should all ditch the alarm clock is because it's going to make you more productive. That might seem kind of unexpected because when we think of ditching the alarm and just sleeping in until we feel rested and not worrying about getting up at a certain time, we think of the weekends, right? We think of not having to do anything and not having to start our day early and get stuff done. But I can tell you from personal experience that ditching the alarm clock is actually what made me more productive. So last year when I was still using my alarm clock, I was just so obsessive with this productivity thing. I made lists all the time, and I couldn't even go to sleep until I knew what I was doing the next day, like down to 15 minutes. Like I'm going to study this hour, and that hour, and whatever. And I would always get up when my alarm went off because that was me being disciplined, and that was me having a good work ethic, and that was me being productive, right? Wrong. So this year, now that I've kind of trained myself not to need an alarm clock, I wake up and have just such an amazing start to my day, and instead of getting up and thinking, oh man, I have to go to class, I get up and I want to go to class because I'm ready and I'm refreshed, and I just have such a productive like first 10 minutes that just like spreads the rest of my day. I don't have that zombie period of literally still waking up because, you know, we need to get up gradually and get out of deep sleep so that if your alarm cuts into that, you're literally still waking up, and that whole period is just not going to be productive. I don't need to take naps anymore, I don't doze off involuntarily in class, and just everything that I do, I'm going to be more focused. And so this allows me to be able to go to bed early because I got everything done, and then be able to get up early naturally, and then be able to kill the next day, and then it just starts this really awesome cycle of productivity. Secondly, I want to encourage you guys to ditch the alarm clock because it's going to make you happier. If I started this speech by saying, imagine how you woke up last weekend, you guys probably would have liked me a little better, and you guys probably would have been a little bit happier. But this makes sense because we actually process our emotions and our feelings during the REM stages of sleep. So if we're constantly disrupting that and not getting enough time in that stage of sleep, then it makes sense if, that our emotions would be unstable. And research done by the Institute of Biomedicine in Finland, that was published in the Journal of Affective Disorders just this past October, they did a study on twins and showed that those with consistently poor sleeping habits were actually 3 times more likely to develop depression. And the National Sleep Foundation found that those with insomnia are actually 10 times more likely. And so if we're constantly shaving off this chunk of our sleep cycle that we obviously still needed because we didn't wake up naturally yet, this just will constantly bring us into a sleep deficit that will add up over time. And also, we're just going to start our day off on the wrong foot. You're not going to have a positive outlook. You're just going to be kind of upset, and no one really wants to start their day in that way. And so it'd be really irresponsible for us to just throw away all of our alarm clocks right now before finals. And so, and if I just left it right here, I know none of you would be persuaded to ditch your alarm clock. But I have 3 actions that you can take that will help you in this process and give you a lot of benefits. And so the first action that we can take is to get something that's called a gradual alarm or a sunrise alarm. That's something that will start playing music or like shining a light like 30 minutes before it's actually going to wake you up. So it helps bring you out of those deeper stages of sleep without like just completely disrupting you and having you wake up really haphazardly and randomly. And so if we can't really just ditch our alarms, I think we could replace our alarms with that. Secondly, we can practice with naps. If we're going to take a nap and we don't really have something we need to do like right after our nap, then don't tell yourself that you need to nap only for 40 minutes. Just let yourself go through a sleep cycle and get used to listening to your body. Lastly, we can also try to practice this over break, because instead of taking the opportunity to stay up till 5 and getting up in the afternoon, why don't we just try sleeping early and mimicking like our school situation and seeing how much sleep we actually do need to feel rested. And so if you do these actions, you guys will just feel so liberated, because why do we have to be completely dependent on this little device to structure our entire lives and our entire schedules? It really just gives you so much confidence and like pep in your day. And so in summary, I've told you 2 reasons why we should ditch the alarm clock and just all the benefits that will come from taking these actions to slowly get to a point where we don't need them anymore. And we are here, and it's such an awesome opportunity that we should be waking up every single day just ready to go to class and excited to go to class, instead of being so groggy and looking at it as like a chore. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Karen. So I like that you, according to the book, you broke down our guessing machine and you were able to fix it later with your description of what good activity actually means. It's not about like using an alarm and thinking like you're going to do X, Y, and Z, but it's about being rested. So I really like that. You had really good sources, and you explained the REM cycle, which I just love talking about the REM cycle and the importance of it. You had really good movement, and you provided us with really good actions. So really good speech.
Hi, I'm Angela.
Hi, Angela.
If I were to point out something, it's good that you really use your hand to like make your points and explain the things. But sometimes it was like, I think you kind of overuse it, so that you could learn.
Okay, those are good, helpful comments. Tiffany, you chose a unique topic and a radical one, in having people get rid of their alarm clock. They're going to be late for work or for school, so. But you gave them a way to do it over break and set an internal alarm clock and so forth. So maybe it will work.
I hope so.
Yeah. Your first reason was talking about the biological alarm clock and your personal story, and I thought that was compelling and worth listening to. Your second reason was to talk about the REM sleep and depression and so forth, so that was good. Now, you told us to do this gradually, and I thought that was a realistic approach for your audience to take, instead of just radically cutting it off, and do it over the break, and the summary and the conclusion and the tie back were all fine. You said no distracting gestures or mannerism, consistent, calm pace, and 5 seconds of eye contact. How'd it go?
I think eye contact was fine. I don't know. I feel like I made good connections with my audience and could tell how they were. I could get good audience feedback. I think I still have to work on the mannerisms. I don't know why. It's like once I really get into it, my arms go crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm supposed to do, because I feel so awkward if I don't know. And then with the
pull your sleeves up so we see your arms, your hands too. Yeah, but yeah, just let them be as natural as they can. If they're flailing too much, I'm not kidding. I suggest Tai Chi, so you get aware of what your body is doing while you're speaking. That sometimes helps. But you did a nice job. Thank you. Okay, that will bring us to Anna. Hi. How you doing? That's nice and thick. Oh, you're turning both of them. You want to collect them from everyone?
Just the fine, just the sticky, right?
They're just sticky. Can you pass your sticky over to this young lady? Both parts.
Do you want me to give this to you separately?
Yeah. You retype. What?
Anybody else?
So, you need to work it out. You can help him.
Yes, no, maybe so.
His revisions don't you know how to help him. Steve, I have one ringing in my ear. Okay, let's start. We're running out of time.
Hi everyone, I'm Anne.
Hi, Anne.
And I'm going to give a disclaimer. I'm sorry for asking this, and there may be growth. But so, who's in here started on their live speaker analysis paper? Oh, you guys are awesome. But for those of you who didn't raise your hand, well, just going to say, be honest, I haven't started mine either, so you might take some comfort in knowing that you're not alone. But considering that we know that this is going to be finals week and there's going to be tons of deadlines coming up, why do we wait until the last minute to start on our paper? So as it turns out, contrary to popular belief, procrastination isn't just like a lazy people problem. According to Dr. Ferrari research in a New York Times article in 2007, The Big Dilly Dally, there are two types of habitual procrastinators, arousal and avoidance. Arousal procrastinators are those who thrive under pressure and they love the rush of trying to meet the deadline at last minute. And then there are avoidant procrastinators. They don't start doing something because they don't want to fail. And I feel that in the college environment where we're constantly under evaluation and there's a lot of pressure to get good grades, procrastination gives us an excuse in not doing something by saying that, oh, we don't have enough time, so that our sense of ability is not threatened because when we don't perform well, basically. But today, I want to persuade you to procrastinate later and hopefully start on the paper tonight. I will give you 2 reasons and 3 actions and some benefits that you would get if you adopt a proposal. And obviously, for all college students, it's finals. I'm sure this is very relevant to all of us, and we want to finish the quarter strong. So the first reason that I want you to procrastinate later is because it stresses us out, and everyone knows this from a personal experience. This is my personal procrastination stories. It's 3 a.m. in the morning. I'm downing my 3rd cup of coffee and picking away at my keyboard, trying to, meet that 10 to 12 page requirement, doing it whatever way, make the periods bigger or space it, you get that. And hopefully I go sleep by 5, only to wake up 2 hours later, run to SAC, to get the printing done, because of course the printer ink ran out and I need to beat the line from the people trying to get the printing stuff done too. Then run to class, turn it in, and of course by luck there's another exam the next day, so that means pulling another all-nighter. As you can all probably tell, and I'm sure some of us have gone through this at one point or another in college, UCLA, Korea, it's stressful, there's a lot of fatigue, and it's anxious. It's not a great feeling. You end up looking and maybe feeling like a raccoon on sweats, because there's no time to adjust, you know. So why do we do that to ourselves? Even if you call yourself say, arousal procrastinator, your health will get negatively impacted by constant stress and anxiety. It's just not good. Our health shouldn't suffer for something that is totally preventable. The second reason that I want you to procrastinate later is because that it prevents us from doing our best. So, according to Dr. Tuckerman in the same New York Summer article in 2007, the number one rationalization that procrastinator say to ourselves is that I work better under pressure. And I've heard some people say in this class before, and maybe it might be true. But when you think about it, like, if you are habitual procrastinators, how do you know if you work better under the circumstance when that's always that's what you've always been doing? Furthermore, if you want to say that you work better under pressure, rather than saying that, you should say that you work only under pressure. In that case, you should motivate yourself not like the night before a paper is due, but rather create the sense of pressure that will motivate you early on in the process so you have enough time to improve your paper and make it the best that you can. Also, the longer you wait, the more likely you are to fall under the Murphy Law. And I think most of us know what that is. Anything that could go wrong will go wrong. If you don't get sick from your roommate, well, maybe your Microsoft Word crashed right before you saved the last page of your paper. Or if you're like me, you believe that your printer was sent from hell and always had the ink ran out, there's a paper jam, or of course at 3 in the morning when there's a report due, it won't print. We can all avoid these frustrating situations. So let's not procrastinate, let's do something now. And 3 actions that you can do that are, I will say, 1, you've probably heard of this before, but I would say Swiss cheesing. That means breaking big projects into smaller steps, but the important thing is that you make it quantifiable. So in a study led by researcher, he's a German researcher from Constant University, Curtis, I will call him that. People who are presented with more concrete information and tasks respond more promptly than those who are presented with abstract information. What this translates to us is that instead of saying, oh, I'll start working on a paper tonight for an hour maybe, say instead that, no, I will finish that outline tonight. Or if you're trying to study, don't say I'm going to study for an hour, say read chapter 1 to 4. It's quantifiable, it's concrete, you know where your deadlines is, and it'll give starting that momentum that will keep you going, and the rest will come out easier. Second reason is if you're like me, sometimes it's hard to focus. In that case, use peer pressure. Use a good friend who doesn't have that kind of problem and study with them. It will help you motivate to stay focused. The third action you can do is actually going to CAPS. They have a procrastination workshop, and they can give you a lot of advice and help you find out why you procrastinate. And it can help you develop better time management skills. So the benefits, I think, are pretty clear, but not procrastinating and being in control of your life will give you such a peace of mind, and it's golden. Procrastination can make you feel weak, helpless, and totally restless. But by taking on a challenge head on, you feel more competent, you feel stronger, and you'll be feeling in charge, and it's great. So in summary, I've told you 2 reasons and 3 actions you can do to procrastinate later and hopefully start that paper tonight. So hopefully when you go home sitting in front of your computer, instead of going to Netflix and start on a TV binge series, you might say, I'm going to do my outline and maybe even start on the first or 2 paragraphs. And I will tell you, it's doable, and your future will be more grateful for it. Thank you.
Where are we? Yeah.
I'm Josh, by the way. Great speech. I really thought I really think you're improving as a speaker. You had a lot more confidence, vocal variety, and I really liked your topic. It was a good, relatable topic that I'm sure most college students can relate to. And so, as a result, you have a very persuasive and sticky speech.
So back here, yeah.
Hi, Trenton.
Hi, Captain.
I also really liked your speech. I liked your topic. Let's see. I think, yeah, you did a really good job with your speech and for critiques.
She was perfect.
You moved around really well. You made eye contact a lot. I'm trying to blank. I apologize.
Okay, thank you. Did you find out how to do your film thing?
Yeah, apparently you should do text box and not the revision tools in Microsoft.
Whatever. So whatever it takes. Okay. Annie, or Anne. Annie, is it? It's Annie Ucla. Anne? Just Anne. Okay, Anne, yeah. I liked your speech. It was an important speech for everyone, and it was well researched. You had a lot of good research and a lot of stories, too. So you had a good combination there. I liked your breakdown of the different kinds of procrastinator, and that was good. You relied pretty heavily on Dr. Tuckman's article, and that was fun, 27. Your concrete action, your Swiss cheese breakdown, have positive. What's this CAPS, procrastinator? Would everyone know where to go and to do that?
CAPS are in the Center of Psychology and Wellness
What?
Center.
What?
Our Center of
Counseling and
counseling.
psychological
Yeah, counseling and psychological service.
What?
It's on campus. It's like
Counseling center? Okay.
So they have, different
So everyone knows about this, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And then you tied back to the loudspeaker and to the live speaker, and that was good. Overall, I thought that you covered the topic nicely and hopefully inspired people to not procrastinate so much. So thank you. Okay, that brings us to Patricia. There you are, Patricia. Hi, Patricia. From Planet Hollywood. Okay, let me get situated. Are we good with how are we doing on battery? Ooh.
It just turned red.
Just turned red? Okay.
Hi, I'm Trish.
Hi, Trish. Another Trish.
Bang, bang, bang. Who died? Well, it's actually the 10,888 college students who commit suicide in college campuses every year. If you're interested, Clickbang is actually a game that's played as an icebreaker in college settings and in camp settings. And the gist of the game is whoever speaks or tries to answer first is actually the one that dies. While this is a great game to get to know people and to pass the time, I don't think that it's a great way to, I don't think that it's great because it makes light of a mental illness such as suicide. Today I'm going to talk to you about the importance of mental health. I'll be giving you 2 reasons and 3 actions as to why mental health is important and benefits that will arise if you take up my proposal. I know that mental health is really important because 1 out of 4 college students suffer from mental illness, so just think that's about 7 of you in this room. And 75% of these students don't acknowledge it or don't do anything to help themselves. And in the midst of finals, it's really easy to overstress yourself and really easy to overwork your brain that you could essentially be digging a hole for yourself, and in this hole you'll find an eating disorder, or maybe you'll have anxiety, or maybe you'll have depression in the long run. The first reason I'm going to give you is that people tend to shy away from the topic of mental health because they don't really understand what it is. So what is mental health? Mental health is the condition of someone's well-being psychologically and emotionally. And people tend to shy away from this because it's not really a tangible disease and you can't really, say what it is. And so people get scared of that idea. And I guess what happens with this is that people think that they can't be helped, and so they shy away from this. I know this is really important in Asian culture because in Asian medicine, they don't really diagnose this as an actual disease. So what happens is that Asian Americans are left to think that they're just going to get better and that nothing is wrong with them. What's even worse is that in 2012, the Royal University of Psychiatrists in the UK stated that our generation is more likely to get anxiety or depression than previous students. So we're talking about just college students here. I think this shocks me because I feel like this is something that can be helped, but if we don't provide people and if we don't make people aware of what is going on, then how are they going to know that there's something there that is able to help them? The second reason I have is actually happened a lot more recently. I met up with a friend and we were going out to have dinner, and she said that she wanted to hang out with us. And while my friends and I were doing homework, she decided that she would casually wanted to drink. And we thought, okay, well, she's a lightweight and she's fine. And in the midst of drinking, her emotions started to change and she would shift between sad and happy. And in doing so, at first we just thought, okay, maybe it's just the alcohol getting to her. But at one point of the night, she decided that she would call her parents. And when she called her parents, she was very loud and she had stated that she had been contemplating suicide. And this is when we realized the extent of the problem. And this to me, this made me feel upset because as a friend, I thought that, I had done everything and that we were great and that she would tell me what was going on with her, when she was just really good at hiding what she was feeling, and that if she hadn't told us that day, then maybe something worse could have happened. So during that night, we decided that we would stay with her and we didn't want to leave her alone. And it got to a point where we actually had to call her parents to come in and pick her up. It was a really emotional night, especially in the midst of finals, to be able to go through this and just know that a really close friend of mine could have been gone had I not taken an action and had not taken that stand. I think from this experience, I know that she's going through a process of trying to get better. And through this process, although she has a hill that she has to overcome, she's making the steps that it takes to get better. And so 3 actions that we can all take to learn more about mental health is to educate ourselves. There's so many websites. There's healthline.com, which I got my statistics of the 1/4 college students that have mental illnesses and the 75% of college students that don't acknowledge this and don't get help. We can also look up the National Prevention of Suicide. That's also a good website to look at. Another action that we can take is we can actually go ahead and live a healthy lifestyle, and we can do this by meditating, like Nicole had said. We can also do this by exercising, which releases endorphins and helps us to become more positive. And also to eat lots of omega-3s, which have this hormone that helps balance our body out. And then the last thing that we can do is to just be there for a friend. You never know if they're going through something, and you don't really know if they're open to talking about it. So just being there is a really good thing that you can do. And so I have given you 2 reasons and 3 actions as to why mental health is important and why we should become more aware. There should be no doubt in this room why mental health is so important, especially in this time of finals and stress. And so let me go ahead and ask you again. Bang, bang, bang.
Who died? Well, in terms of the game, it's the person who spoke first. But in terms of mental illness, it's actually not the friend that you were able to help by being more aware about mental illnesses. And one last thing before I go, the number for the National Hotline for Suicide Prevention is 1-800-273-TALK. Thank you.
Thank you. 602.
Hi, I'm Maria.
Hi, Maria.
I thought your speech was really great. It was so fluid. Everything went along, and I liked your stories and the evidence that you provided, and I thought it was very on point.
Thank you, Maria. Improvement?
Hi. I actually really liked your
What's
speech.
your name?
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm Brianda.
Hi,
Hi,
everyone.
I'm talking about the same thing as well. So I really liked the way you presented things. You were very confident. I don't know. I think the only room for improvement maybe was in your story about your friend. I think maybe you could have made it a little bit more emotional if you just added a few more details. But it was really good. I'm kind of afraid to follow that, so good job.
Hard act to follow, huh? Okay. Tricia, let's talk about your speech. You started with the Bang Bang story, which, I don't know, it was an interesting story. It was light yet heavy, kind of strange and weird, and yet it set us off. It got our attention, and so that was good, I guess. You gave a rather arresting statistic of 10,888 students that take their lives every year on college campuses, which is a high number. We'd like to have known where that was from. So, you got us going and going in a significant way, and so I would have liked to have had more of the Bang Bang tie back to the statistics too, and so don't be a statistic and don't be one of those 10,888 or something, but you kind of did the tie back, so you got the idea of it. You made a case that most people don't seek help, that they sort of got it through, right? Just try to get through it. Your first reason was that people are hurting but not seeking aid, and Asian students in particular aren't getting help. Your second reason, you talked to us about your friend Tammy, and you told us the story of her and getting drunk and then having the courage to say that she wanted to end her life, and you ended up staying up with her and passing her off to her parents. I guess she's sort of better now, or more smoothed out or something, I don't know. Yeah. That's always a difficult thing to deal with. I've done it 2 or 3 times, and it's always hard. Sometimes we've been successful, sometimes we've not, and you know. On the actions, I thought the meditation was a good suggestion, and you made an allusion to Nicole, and that was good. And support of your friends, and you gave people a number to call, so that was good. And you were under time, so that was fine. So you did a nice job today. You got it done. Thank you.
Can you change the battery out real quick?
Yeah, we're only going to do about one more, maybe, and then we're going to call it a day. So, but let's. Who's next? Do you have your computer with you?
Me?
Yeah, do you have your laptop with you?
Yeah.
You do? Oh, good. Because I can't post just one, but I can give it to you on your laptop. Okay.
Should we risk it?
Yeah, we can. No, we'll change the battery.
Okay.